Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to DIY Art Plus. I'm here with another painting. Now today I am not in my basement. I set up this setup on my dining table, and I am using this little thing here. It's just a little wood because this canvas is not gonna fit here, so that's why I have this wood. But let me show you what I'm gonna paint today. So here's the flower I have. Look at this, how beautiful these flowers are. And so this was from my anniversary, 10th anniversary. So this is what I'm gonna paint. So let me grab this. Now it's not gonna be the same. I'm mostly gonna use the similar colors, but trust me, it's not gonna be the same. Okay, so let's paint this. Alright, so let's start painting. Grab your paint and canvas if you want to paint with me, and these are the colors I'm gonna use today. If you want to take a screenshot of the paint name, you can, but this is just a blue, dark blue. This is pink, rose pink. This is regular red, and this is green. Oopsie. And this is yellow. And I'm also going to use white paint. It's a titanium white. So these are the color I'm going to use. Alright, so I'm going to start working on the background first. And these are the brushes I'm going to use today. This is flat brush number 10 size. This is number 6 size. It's a round brush. And this is my favorite brush. Small round brush. It's a 0 size. Okay, so I'm going to use this flat brush and work on the background first. Okay, so I'm gonna start working from the top of my canvas, and slowly I'm gonna come down. So I'm gonna just use two colors for this background, white and blue. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the lightest blue here first. I'm just gonna take a little bit of blue, and bunch of white color here. Alright, and I'm gonna start working from top of my canvas. And I don't apply a simple brush strokes here, so I'm also using my brush like this, so that way I get different type of brush strokes on my canvas, on my painting here. Okay, and as I'm painting, I'm also gonna do the edges of my canvas. So if you're painting on a framed canvas like this, make sure you also do the edges. Alright. Okay, and as I'm gonna come down, I'm just gonna make this blue darker and darker. So I'm just gonna take a little bit more blue than last time, and just a little bit of white here. And I'm just gonna keep applying this paint like this and blending this light blue I have in the background here. Okay, I'm also gonna take a little bit of water on my brush. Alright, and same thing again, I'm just gonna take a little bit of blue and a little bit of white, and I'm just gonna mix all the colors on my painting here, on my canvas. If you are not comfortable doing this way, you can also blend it on your palette. But I think if you do it this way, you're not gonna end up with one color. Okay, again, I'm gonna use a little bit of water here. That is gonna help you to blend your colors easily and quickly. Okay, I'm trying to make it a little bit messier background. I'm trying not to keep just the one brush strokes here. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna keep my paint. I'm gonna keep this area darker and darker here now. And this is my normal speed. I'm not going too fast here, but if you feel like I'm going too fast, you can always pause the video and just start whenever you are done with this part. But I like to do the background quickly on mostly all of my painting. Okay, again, I'm just gonna keep adding more and more dark blue, and just taking tiny little white, not too much. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take my blue here. I'm not taking any more white, and I'm just gonna flip my canvas because it's easier for me to paint. Okay, and I'm just gonna basically cover all the white spaces I have left on the top here. Okay, just gonna blend this all together. Just taking tiny little white because sometimes it's hard to blend some of the area. And if you take a little bit of white and a little bit of water, that is gonna help you to blend your colors easily. All right, now I feel like I wanna make this area a little bit more darker. I'm just gonna grab a little bit more blue here. Okay, as you can see, I grab big chunk of blue here. Okay, I'm gonna keep it nice and choppy. I'm not blending out too much. Okay, now again, I'm also gonna do the edges quickly here. So let me go ahead and do that first. Alright, so now I'm gonna start adding some green flower stems, and I'm gonna use this darker green and my small brush, and I'm just thinking where I want to add my stems here. It's all gonna be in the center, so this is how I'm adding these stems. Okay, and then I'm just gonna add a bunch of stems in the middle here between those two lines that I just add. And I'm not really bringing any line from all the way top to the down. I'm just going up and down like that, applying this type of lines. Okay, so now I'm gonna add the pot on the bottom. Now I'm not drawing the same pot I have here. It's way too big for these flowers. I'm gonna create a little different shape for this. So just adding a little curved line right here and kind of adding a little arch there, and then adding this type of a little pot. And I'm just using white paint here. And I am only using tip of my brush for this part. And I think I like this outline. Now I'm gonna go back one more time and make it a little bit more darker. I'm not too worried about on the top area because I'm gonna cover that with some more green and more flowers there. And I'm also adding a little touch of white right here, just so that it looks like it's a glass jar, and using my finger to kind of make it a little bit lighter. Alright, now I'm using again same brush, same color, and I'm adding some water like this. And also gonna add just a couple lines on the both side, just on the water area. And my husband came so early today, and he's sitting in the background here and just talking with me. So I'm just adding just voiceover on this video. So right here I'm just adding bunch of more green color here, more stems there. You cannot see it completely a perfect shape for this line, so I'm just adding more green in the middle, and on the edges there I'm also gonna add some more stems coming out from there, and using a very light pressure. And I'm also using a little bit of water here. That is the trick. That is gonna give you a sharp line, and you don't have to go too many times on each line. Down here I'm also adding a little curve kind of a line here, because my flowers are leaning outside of the the pot. And I'm still using my dark green here, same color, and still adding same type of lines on the edges here. You don't have to think too much, just apply your brush strokes and make it a little bit curvier. Just add a little arch. You can also add different type of stems here, more leaves if you like. I'm just keeping it very simple, just moving my brush up and down, adding a little curve, and that is what this is creating. Alright, so now I'm using the same brush, same color again, but I'm gonna add different type of leaves this time. Now I don't have this type of leaves here, but I'm still gonna add something like that. So basically I am finding the stems I already have there and adding this type of leaves there. And I add one on the bottom left side, and I'm also gonna add one more on the top right side. I'm just adding two with this color. I'm gonna use different color then. And as you can see right here, I'm also adding some more leaves, more stems down here, and with that same color. Now I'm gonna use a different color here. Now I'm gonna make light green. So I'm using a little bit of green, a little bit of white, and I'm gonna mix it all together, and I'm gonna use a little bit lighter shade of green here. And I'm just adding same type of leaves that I had last time, but just with this light green. And this one is coming all the way down in the pot. You can see that. And I'm also gonna add one more on the other side. This is not coming all the way down. Okay, and just one more down here on the right bottom side here. Okay, so now here I'm just gonna use that same light green, and I'm just gonna add this type of little choppy lines. So I'm not completely hiding my green, dark green. I still can see the darker green here. So I'm just trying to add more stems. Those are in a little front, and you can see that the one that are in the background, you cannot really see that, but you can see something is there. So that's why the darker green, I'm not completely hiding that. Now I'm gonna use a different shade of green. So I'm using green, white, and a little bit of yellow here, and that is gonna give you a little different shade of green. And I'm gonna repeat mostly the same thing that I did with the light green. I'm just gonna add a whole bunch of leaves or stems, you can say, it's coming out of my pot, mostly on the bottom area right there, and adding a whole bunch of line coming out like this. And here I'm gonna go with a little bit more darker green back again, just so that I still can see that darker green, because I don't really see much darker green anymore. So I'm gonna go back and make it a little bit more darker on some areas. Alright, so now I'm ready for the flowers. I'm gonna add very small flowers here, and I'm gonna start with the red color. I'm trying to, find a similar color that I have here. And I started applying this color here, but this is way too darker and my flowers are not really popping out clearly. So I'm gonna paint all of the flowers with the white color, and then I'm gonna go back with the red. So I'm just gonna work on to add the shape of the flower using a white color, and I'm gonna add all of my flowers here first. So starting with this kind of a round flower I have here, and just adding this first. Okay, and then I add the other type of a flower, but again I'm sticking with the white paint here and just adding this type of a shape first for all of my flowers. And I also have this big flower back here. I'm not painting that. I don't think I can paint that. Not for this painting. Now as I'm also just making this video for you all, I'm also learning as I go. So trust me, I cannot paint everything. So that's why I'm just creating a basic video. So if you are also new like me, you can also paint with me. And we can learn as we go, right? And I'm just going back on a couple of this flower again because I wanted to make that just maybe a little bit more bigger. And on the top of this area here, I'm gonna add some clusters of some smaller flowers. Alright, so this is not a normal video that I usually post. This is slightly a little different. I like to not fast forward any of my video whenever I'm making a painting video. But this is, I'm gonna fast forward because trust me, you don't wanna see me painting this for 3 hours. It took me almost like 2.5 hours. And I mostly enjoy making a little larger size of painting than painting on a smaller surface, because I don't know, for some reason if I'm making a larger painting I can paint faster than smaller painting. Okay, so now let's start painting these flowers, color. So I'm just gonna use that basic red color again, and I'm mostly just adding just a one layer. So now you can see the big difference. You can clearly see the color and it's popping up more. So that was I was going for here, and again I'm just going over those flowers and trying to match the color I have here. And this flower that I'm working right now, you can see the petals clearly. The one that is in the background, the petals are, you can see that clearly from the top. And after I add the pink or the red color here, I'm gonna go back with a little bit more white here and give more layers on this flower so you can see the petals. Alright, so for my painting, I'm going for the pink and the red shade for all of the flowers here. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of yellow here. But you don't have to stick with the colors I'm using here. You don't have to stick with the pink and red for the whole painting here. You can also use different shades of these colors. You can use orange, you can use purple, you can also use blue maybe. So yeah, you can also just use different colors here. And this flower here is also pink color flowers. I'm applying light pink first, and then I'm gonna go back with some darker pink so that you can see the shadow of the flowers. And these flowers are also the red color here. Again, I'm gonna start applying this red first, and then I'm gonna go back, add a little highlight with the white. Okay, I'm also gonna add a little bit of yellow here. I started with the yellow first and cover all of those flowers. And I really wanted to make a little different shade here. I don't really like the yellow that much. So I go back with some orange shade and add a little bit of this orange color on top of that yellow. And after I was done with that, I go back and highlight it with some white on top. Okay, I'm just going back on this pink flower again and add a little darker pink shade here so that it's easy to see the petals here. Okay, one last place for the flower. This is just the orange color I'm applying. Again, after I'm done with the orange, I'm gonna go back with some white highlight. Okay, so now here I'm applying a little darker pink under this type of a flower here. Now I cannot finish the painting without adding some white flowers, so I don't have any white flower on this bouquet, but I'm gonna still add some white flower. It's a very simple flower. It's only 4 petals here. I'm just adding like 4 lines for those type of flower, and I'm also adding this type of flower on both side on the bottom area. So add a bunch of dots wherever I started from. As I'm coming down, I'm just making that lighter and just very light depths there and less dots there. Now I don't know what this flower called. Do you know the name of this for this flower? I don't know. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side too. And I'm also gonna add this type of flower a little bit on the top side too. And I really don't want to cover completely all the greens I have here, but I'm still gonna add some of more those smaller white flowers. and just a little black dot on the center of each white flower. And I'm also adding some green color dots for these flowers here, so you can see some stems, little stems on these little flowers. And to finish my painting, I'm just gonna go back and add a whole bunch of more dots around. Started with the green and sticking on just one place, adding a whole bunch of flowers on one area. I'm gonna move on to the different spot and then do the same thing. I use almost all the colors that I used already, yellow, red, pink, green, and some white. But yep, that's all I'm gonna do with this painting. I hope you guys all have fun painting with me with this quick painting, and if you do, give a big thumbs up, and I will see you next time for another DIY or a painting. So thank you again. Bye.